Welcome to the Build Your Beautiful Business podcast with your host, Julie C. Butler. If you're looking to build the business of your dreams, then this is the space you want to be in. Join Julie as she talks about ways that you can successfully scale your profitable dream business, one that will give you ultimate time freedom and the abundant lifestyle you deserve. Julie will take you by the hand, sharing with you her business savvy strategies as she chats it up with her favorite online entrepreneurs. You'll get a weekly dose of boosted confidence as you learn as they reveal their insight, tips, and tools that you need to start building a profitable dream business of your own, one that you'll love and that works for you on autopilot.
Hey there, welcome back to the BBB podcast. Today on the show, we have the beautiful Clare Gardner. From the shadows of adversity to the spotlight of success, Clare embodies the essence of triumph over trials. Enduring and overcoming a 15-year abusive relationship, Clare emerged stronger, more resilient, and with a fiery passion to empower others. Today, as a successful serial entrepreneur, Clare is a beacon of inspiration, guiding individuals to step into their light, live their best lives, and realize their dreams. With a heartfelt mission to uplift and empower, Clare is transforming lives, fostering self-belief, and inspiring a new wave of visionary leaders.
Hi, show. I'm so excited to have you on. You know, the first time I met you, we are both speakers at the Women Thrive Summit. The first time that I met you, I was like, your energy is so contagious and your smile brightens up the room. I was like, this girl is awesome. So I'm very excited to have you on the show today. Welcome.
Oh, thank you so much. What an entrance.
Gift of making people feel really loved and, blushing and all the feels.
I can't take any credit for it. I was just born this way.
You smile with your eyes, and so they're listening to us right now, so they might not be able to envision it, but if they're watching the YouTube video, they can definitely see it. Anyway, it's such an honor to have you, a pleasure to have you today. I'm really excited because I think that we're going to talk about something that we are both passionate about. And even though it's not really my business, I'm still very passionate about, embracing authenticity and breaking free from the fear, which I'm really excited to talk to you about. And I think that just having the conversation all around that, it's just so good. And it's always a good reminder, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think, fear is just like, it's our nemesis, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
you could just let go of that. That's what fear comes from different places. And, just I think the awareness and trying to figure out where the fear comes from so that we can fix it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And so it's funny because I have my guests fill out a form and they give me their idea for the topic. And you wrote from shadows to light. And I love that. That's so powerful. Yeah. So let's talking about authenticity because we hear it all the time, right? Like, oh, be authentic, your authentic self, your authenticity. Let's first of all, what does that mean? What is authenticity? What does it mean being authentic? In your words,
it's the buzzword, isn't it? It's like the word manifestation. It's like, oh, what's this? And it's like everyone talks about it, but no one really kind of digs deep into it. And it's
exactly,
yeah, it's one of the words that's kind of thrown around, and I think quite kind of generally, but it's used very loosely. So for me, being authentic is about who you would be when no one is around and without any fear. Who would you be? So if you had no fear of judgment, no fear of rejection, no fear of failure, none of this stuff that makes us mask and makes us kind of hide or dim ourselves down a bit, or try and be something that we're not. It's like, who would you be if you didn't have any of that fear around you? And that, to me, is true authenticity.
Like if you're sitting on your favorite couch or chair or in your bed, whatever that looks like, who does that person look like in those four walls with nobody around looking at you, nobody around judging you, even though we shouldn't care, nobody around to kind of like, for us to compare ourselves to and think that we should be like that or like this, right? Like, and just being present within and being your true self.
It's I like to I use the word becoming a lot, right? So we become the person that we were always meant to be, but actually it's not about becoming someone else. It's about becoming who you always were before you added all of these extra layers of kind of security blankets around you over the years, which end up being like an onion. And it's like you have to peel one layer after the other to really find the core as to who you are, because we lose it. We lose who that is, because with different situations we take on all these different personas and we lose who we are.
Yeah, and I mean, Claire, we were talking a bit before. You're a mom, I'm a mom. And I think that, as a mom and other moms listening in, if you're not a mom, maybe other things, but we kind of lose ourselves into those roles, right? The role of being the mom, being the wife, being the homemaker, being the, whatever that is. Like, we're just in charge of so many things, right? Life keeps us busy, but also then we might want to start and run and build and grow a business, but we are bombarded by like social media, and we see so many people doing so many different things. And then we get into this game of like, ooh, I like how this person does it. Maybe I should do it this way. Or this person says we should do it this way. Maybe I should do it that way. When really, truly, really doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, what matters is that the way you truly, deeply want to do and create the things and go out there and be the person who you are meant to be is, I think it's truly what we are meant to do, and permission to go out and do that, right?
Yeah, 100%. I love that so much. And one of the things that I do is I help people find what I call their soul's purpose. So it's, there's so much noise. There's so much noise. And like you say, especially on social media, and it's very easy for us to think that it's the right way for us because it might light us up. But what we have to realize is, just because we're inspired, it doesn't mean it's for us. We can be inspired, but it doesn't necessarily mean that's the thing you should do. It's just an element of what you're seeing that is resonating with you. And something that I teach my clients is how you differentiate that, how you know when something is really for you and when it's just, oh, that's amazing, but it's not right for me. But I think, like you say, I believe we are all born with a purpose.
I truly believe that too.
Yeah, our souls come here for a reason, and our lives pan out the way that they pan out so that we learn the lessons that we learn, we overcome the mountains that we come, so that we get to the point where we're like, okay, now I'm ready. Now I'm ready to use all of this and to turn it into my messaging, into my purpose, into my power, into my passion. I'm ready to transmute it, and use this as my path. And I believe that's why the most successful entrepreneurs come from the hardest backgrounds, because they turn their pain into purpose, into passion, and they use that as their fire to move forwards. And that is why their lives have been how they've been, and now they're ready to help others,
But you find, like, maybe this has happened to you, and maybe some of the listeners are like, oh my God, like, yes, this is me. But I found myself stuck. I didn't realize at the time, but I found myself stuck in the same place for way longer than I choose to admit, right? Because I wasn't allowing myself to go out there and do the things that felt aligned in alignment with me, who I am, how I want to do things, because we get to choose, right? I'm stuck in a place for way too long. That's
Yeah.
what happens. What is the purpose of that? We're not out there sharing what we are meant to be sharing, teaching what we are meant to be teaching, being like changing people's lives, because we all have something magic. If you're listening to this, you have something magical to share with the world, and they are waiting for you to show up. But if we're stuck in that place because of, the comparison, or the trying to be someone we are not aligned with, what use is that?
Yeah, 100%. And I love, yeah, again, I love what you just said. And I always say, if you're not in your purpose, if you're living a life that you're not meant for, you're doing a disservice not only to yourself, but to the people that you're here to help, because they can't find you. They're literally out there waiting for you. Like someone right now is Googling for you. Whoever's listening to this, you are their golden chalice. Like, you are their savior. You are the person that they need right now. But if you're not showing up, and if you're not shining your light, and if you're not really stepping into your own power authentically, they're not going to find you, because they're not going to be magnetized to you, because the people that you're here to help are searching for that particular frequency that you are on when you are in your authenticity, when you are in your brightest, boldest self. And if you're not that, they can't find you.
Mm-hmm. I know. And so that being said, go out there and sell. You can never sell too much, right? Share your offers.
Yeah.
But also, I love that. I love what you said, because I think that at the end of the day, we are, and we are deserving of sharing with the masses, right? And you're right, they are looking for us, they Googling the thing that we are here to help them with, right?
Yeah. I think so, sales is another one of the kind of weighted words. And I think so many, what I call soulpreneurs, like the soul-led business owners. So the people that, we still want to be successful. We still have big dreams, big aspirations, but we don't want to sell our souls to get there. We just want to do good in the world. We want to make big impact. We're visionaries. And I think a lot of people struggle with believing that they can be spiritual, that they can be aligned with their highest selves and with their purpose and with their highest timelines, and be successful or be rich or be wealthy or be selling, because it's seen as something icky. It's seen as something that's like, oh, I don't want to sell something. That's really horrible. And we have to change that narrative as business owners. If you want to succeed in your business, and whatever success means to you, but ultimately, if you want to help more people, that means you're going to sell more, because that's how you help more people. So you're going to have to get on board with the fact that sales is service. Sales is just helping people with what you do, with your gifts. If they don't want it, then it's not for them. It's not, it's not a yucky thing. It's not like you're trying to force it down someone's throat. You're giving them a choice, saying, this is what I do. And if they're your people, then they will love it. And if they're not, that's fine. They're for someone else.
Yeah. And if they don't want it, or if they don't love it, it doesn't mean they don't love you anymore. Right?
It just means that they're not ready for the transformation that you can give them. They're just not there. They're not there yet.
Emails come into our inbox of, I don't know. You guys have Old Navy in the UK?
Say that again.
Old Navy? Or is that a Canadian, North American thing? Okay. Anyway, whatever department store or, that you're following, you get emails from because you're subscribed to their email list. Email, and you don't want the offers that you don't like. You just, I don't want this today, so I'm just going to delete and look for the next one, right?
Yeah, 100%. And also, like, you probably get those emails every day and you're just like, delete, delete, delete. Doesn't mean you don't like the brand anymore. And at one point, you'll probably see an email and you'll be like, oh, I really want that. And it's just timing, and it's synchronicity, and it's realizing that everyone is on their own path, everyone is on their own journey, and they will be ready in their own time. And your job is to stay in your energy, in your lane, in your highest frequency, so that when they're ready, they can find you.
Awesome. I love that. So, I was listening to you talk, and I'm like, part of us not maybe showing up in our authenticity is perhaps that crazy word called fear, whatever that looks like. It's many different things for a lot of us. But like, Claire, how do you break free from the fear?
So
I know it could be its own full day training.
yeah, let's like condense it down. So this is one of my favorite topics to talk about, especially on stages. It's because it impacts all of us, right? And it's kind of irrelevant what the fear is about, because fear will feel scary, whether you're scared of like a little ant crawling on you or whether you're scared of someone chasing you with a knife. Like, you're still gonna feel that kind of life or death, heart racing, body shaking, kind of like fight or flight mode. And it paralyzes us. And I like to say fear is the robber of your dreams. It is literally the thief that will rip your destiny from under your feet. It will take away the very essence of who you're here to be if you allow it, because it wants you to stay where you are. And that's just the way that we're wired, right? You can't do anything about that. Fear is never gonna disappear. And what I had to learn is that if you want the life that you truly desire, like if you want big things in this life, if you want to live a life that you don't currently live, you want something different, you want something better, you want something more, there's gonna be fear, because it's change, it's unknown. You've just moved to Costa Rica, it's scary, it's a whole new country, it's not normal, it's going to make your nervous system dysregulated. There's going to be moments where you feel fine, there's going to be moments where you're like, I want to go back home. It's just how we're wired. And what you have to realize is that in order to get to where you want to be, you're gonna have to face your fear. You have to take action with the fear. You have to take action scared. And what you do is you step into it, you lean into it, and you transmute it. Because when you take the action and you lean forwards, you can transmute that fear into fire, into fuel, to propel you into the future that you really want. So you have to lean into it. It's like stepping out of the cage that you've built around you, right? And realizing that you've got wings, and realizing that they're gonna support you, but you have to take the jump, babe. You have to leap to test them, because if you don't, you're never gonna know that they work. So if you want to experience that kind of life, you have to take action scared. And the great thing is that when you start taking action, the fear goes. But you've got to take the action in the first place. One tip I will say really quickly is I love Mel Robbins. If any of your listeners follow her, and she has the 5 second rule. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, do it, because it's so quick that it doesn't give your subconscious a chance to stop you. So it's just about literally taking the bull by the horns and jumping on that bad boy and just going with it. Because if you don't jump, you can never get to the destination. It's the choice, right? It's do it scared or don't ever achieve it.
Right. There's no other way. Right. And I'd say 30 seconds of courage.
Yeah. The only thing with 30 seconds is it's long enough to start playing tricks in your mind.
way better. We all deserve to get to that place that is on the other side of that closed door or that wall, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be uncomfortable.
Yep.
But there's magical things that can happen in that on the other side of that door. It's crazy the magic that can happen, right? And you know this, right? And if you're listening to this and you're finding yourself stuck in that place, and so take Claire's advice and just open the door and just jump over, and you can do baby steps, right? But fear doesn't. I mean, okay, fear is there sometimes also to help guide us a little bit, right? Right.
Oh, if it doesn't scare you, it's not meant for you.
Yeah. But it's not there to own us and to control us, right? So we have to really step into that person and what you say again, fall into it. Is that how you said it?
I don't know. I was just channeling.
Good. Whenever you said it was good. So maybe rewind and start again. No more words to add to this because you said it so well, and it was just perfect the way you said it, and we just have to lean in. That's how you said it. Lean in here, lean in, and go. What is to lose anyway, right?
Exactly.
Off of a building, but nothing's going to catch on fire. Right?
Yeah. And this is the thing, you know, it's a little bit morbid, but it's so powerful because if you're questioning, do I do, you know, can I do this? Can I do this? You know, is the fear like too much? I just can't. You know, we've all been there like, I just can't do it. Like, I just can't. And we can't physically make ourselves. Powerful tool is to go 10, 20, 30, 40 years from now, look back on your life. What will you regret? You know, you'll regret not taking the chance. You'll regret not trying. You'll regret never really knowing what your full potential was because you held yourself back, because you were too scared. And at the end of the day, you know, it sounds mean, but you're the one that has to live with that. And when you get to the end, you have to look back at your life and know that you could have potentially had so much more. You could have experienced so much more. You could have helped so many more people. You could have had the life that you really desired, because that's what's meant for you. You know, your desires, your dreams are given to you for a reason, because you're meant to follow them. So whatever that is, you know, yours is obviously moving to Costa Rica. Mine at the moment is speaking on stages worldwide. Like, those dreams are ours to follow. They're our North Stars. And if we don't follow them, like we said earlier, you know, that's a disservice to humanity, if you want to be brutal about it, you know, because you're here to do big things. You're so important and you're so needed. And you know, we're made to feel like we're so insignificant, and we're made to feel like, you know, there's so many people in the world, how can little old me kind of matter? And it's like, no, you know, Albert Einstein said it best: either everything is a miracle or nothing is a miracle. And that means that, you know, you listening, you are a miracle. And what are miracles capable of? Well, we don't even know. You know, they're capable of extraordinary. And that means that you're capable of that. So you've got to allow yourself a chance to fulfill that. You know, push yourself. See, who knows what you're capable of? No one ever really knows until hindsight. You know, if you just think about the greats, think about the Wright brothers, think about Thomas Edison, you know, all the greats, and you're like, they didn't know where they were going to get to, but they had a dream, they had a vision. They faced judgment, they faced, you know, trying to be sectioned, they had all sorts of things happen, but they followed their vision. They were true to themselves, and they did it scared, and damn, did it pay off.
Right? I love that. Everything you just said, I love it so much. The end. This is the end of the episode because it was so good. No, just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, you, Claire, because usually, and it's really funny that I didn't start with that, but I let the speakers introduce themselves a little bit.
That's all right.
As we started talking about authenticity, I was like, oh, I forgot to ask her to introduce herself. But let's do it at the end. Let's talk about you, Claire. And I think you have a story to share with us. So I'll let you take the stage.
Oh, thank you. Well, yeah, I guess
I'm giving you a stage, Claire. It's not a person, but it is in the ear of someone who needs to hear it.
Yeah, of course. And, I love a stage. So, okay, a bit about me. Well, I title myself a spiritual success coach, but truth being told, I hate titles because they make me feel restricted. They make me feel confined. And that's the complete opposite of what I'm about. But it's kind of the one that fits the most, if you will. But really what I am is I'm a visionary. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm a multiple business owner. I've created many businesses to multiple six-figure businesses. I'm a coach. I'm a advocate for female empowerment, and I'm really about empowering as many women as possible to step into their light, to play big, to become the visionaries that they can truly be. And so generally I work with ambitious entrepreneurs who feel the struggle between spirituality and business. They want the best of both worlds and they feel that they need to choose. And I'm here to kind of say, no, we don't have to choose. We get awakening and ambition. We get success and spirituality. We integrate over here because that's going to help you. That's going to help you grow, and it's going to help you realize your full potential. So that's kind of who I work with. And my purpose, going back to our earlier conversation, is to touch as many lives as I possibly can, whether that's on podcasts, whether that's through my one-to-one coaching, whether that's through programs I do, whether it's on stages, any platform where someone is going to hear my message. I see that as a gift that I've been given to plant a seed, and I had this conversation actually on a podcast earlier, and you can get, I get trolling all the time, right, on my socials all the time, because with big impact comes big scrutiny. It's just part and parcel. And it goes back to that fear of judgment, right? But your purpose has to be stronger than that fear. It has to be more important to you than any kind of naysayer. But for me, I know that anyone that hears my message or sees my message, I've planted a seed, and whether they become a client, whether they listen to another episode, whether they leave me a trolling comment, is kind of irrelevant, because the seed has still been planted, and whether they choose to grow it or not right now is about, again, like we touched on earlier, it's about their journey and where they are at the moment. But I know that in 10 years' time, they might start watering that seed. They might suddenly be ready. They might suddenly be on their path. And I wouldn't know unless they told me, but for me, I can know that I've played a part in that, and at the moment it might not be for them, and they might be still in their trauma, and that's why they're, kind of impacting that on other people, or they might be ready and they've just found me and they're all in. But it really doesn't matter, because I know that I'm planting that seed. And for me, that's my destiny. That's my purpose. That's my dharma. That's what I'm here to do, to plant as many seeds as possible and hope that, enough people water them and that they let them grow, and that they really step into their light, step into their power, and become the person that they truly desire to be. That was a very long overview of what I do, but
like we just met. Well, no, we didn't just meet. We met, on the group call or whatever we were on. But just talking to you for 30 minutes, I could talk to you all day, because you're inspiring, and you're you're, like you said, planting the seeds. And I think that it's important to surround ourselves with people who are who do that for us, but who may also be steps ahead of us in terms of where they are on their path, on their journey, and where we want to be, right? Because, and I'm sure it's the same with you, Claire. I'm sure you follow people that not necessarily you want to be like them, but they've achieved the level of business that you maybe dream of or whatever, and you follow them for that inspiration. You follow them for that, what is possible. You follow them and you be like empowered and inspired by them. And that sometimes it goes back to helping us, leap into the fears, right? Because, I think it's really important to, surround ourselves with people like you, and others who will do that for us, right? Because I think it's needed.
100%. And the most successful business people have coaches. Sports people at the top of their game have coaches. Actors who win Grammys and Oscars have coaches. It's like, if you want to be your best, you have a coach. I have a coach. Everyone in the world should have a coach of some sort. I am a massive advocate of that, because you can't Google a blind spot, right? I love that saying, because if you don't know what you don't know, and sometimes you're so in it that you can't even see the wood through the trees. You can't see the different perspective. You can't see the different angle. And there's this saying, what is it? It's you can't join Steve Jobs. You can't join the dots forwards. You can only join them backwards. You can only see the path once you've walked it, unless you get someone to help you who's already further along, who's walked that path before you.
Yeah. And that may accelerate
the road
in front of you, right? You'll get there sooner. And same with me, Claire. I have a coach, and because I was like bouncing around on my own demise and flying by the seat of my pants, and I'm like, okay, I need someone to help me along the way here.
Yeah, 100%.
Whatever that looks like for you. Maybe it's someone to help you design your website. Maybe it's someone to help you with marketing. Maybe it's whatever. I always feel like when, we let go of the fear and we lean into what is it that I need at this moment. And I truly believe that when the student is ready, the teacher appears, right?
Yeah.
Huge believer of that. Yeah. And so I think that it's important to either hire a coach that can help you do the things that, you need done right now, or surround yourself with those people.
100%, because, more minds are better than one. However many it is, it's better than one. You can only, everyone can only see their reality from their lens. Everyone sees things differently, and why wouldn't you want to surround yourself with that? It's we have to, because that's how you're going to grow. That's if you think about who you want to be, the kind of life what does that life look like get really granular to the detail of like your daily habits, what you wear, your thoughts that you think, the food that you eat, where you hang out, all this stuff. How does that look in comparison to what you're doing now? Because you've got it right there. That's the changes that you need to make, because you can't suddenly live that life if everything is 100% completely different. You have to start bridging that gap. You have to start making those changes until you get there. That's called a quantum leap, baby. It's not actually just like that. It's building blocks on that path, and people around you that have been there, done that, got the t-shirt and learned the hard way, right? Because the people ahead of you have learned the lessons, so you don't have to. Believe me, I have learned a lot of lessons.
Exactly.
and they're painful.
Exactly. I love that. I love everything you just said. So I looked at my notes here, and you have an awesome blueprint for the listeners. It's called Unleash Your Inner Power. And I'm going to let you explain what that is and why everybody should download it.
Oh my God, I love this freebie. So this is literally like, if you're an entrepreneur and you're just, you know that you're meant for more. You know, you're not hitting your 6 figures yet. You know that there's this life that you desire, but you just can't quite figure out where to go or how to get there. And you're just kind of stuck in the hustle, the grind, and the burnout. And you're just like, I don't know what the hell to do. This is for you. So it's a 7-step blueprint. It's completely free. It will take you maybe 15 minutes to look through. And it is just going to give you the key pillars that you need to work on to start becoming the person that you want to be, to start tapping into that inner power that we all have inside of us. You know, we're born with it. There is not one person listening that doesn't have the capability of accessing this. You just need to know the areas to look at. And once you know where to look, right, once you know what to Google, then you know where to focus. And that's when you can start becoming, start unleashing, and start stepping into the person that you're here to be.
That's amazing. Like, that's kind of like okay, the action steps to our conversation is download this Unleash Your Inner Power, grab that 7-step blueprint so that you can move into and becoming that person who you are truly meant to become.
Exactly that. Yeah, exactly that.
I love that. Well, Claire, you're an inspiration. You're awesome. I love your energy. I love everything about you. I've known you for 30 minutes, maybe a little bit longer. But, I'm sure other people listening feel the same. And so if they want to learn more about you or maybe work with you, where can they find you and how can they work with you?
Yeah, sure. So Instagram is probably the platform where I'm most kind of active. So at Empowered Phoenix Rise, I'm sure we can put the link below. And then working with me, I have a high-level coaching container, which is my Rewired for Success. It's application only, but that is for if you are really ready to jump full in. You're ready to say, I'm not messing around anymore. I won't swear, nearly swore. But, you know, I'm not messing around anymore with my future. I know that I'm here to create big things. Then that is my high-level one-to-one coaching container. I have a program that is coming out in the near future. So depending when people are listening to this, that might be ready yet. I can't give too much away. But you will hear about it if you're on my socials.
Awesome. So follow Claire on Instagram for sure. And I love that name, Empowered Phoenix Rise. I love that. Right? I love that. However did you come up with that name?
Well, Phoenix is my business name. And actually the username had gone. So I was like, okay, Phoenix Rise, that had gone. And I was like, Empowered Phoenix Rise. So it literally came about because I couldn't have anything else, but I love it.
I love it. Phoenix Rise, good, but Empowered Phoenix Rise, even better.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I love it. Thank you so much, Claire, for being on the show today. It's been such an amazing pleasure talking to you. And I think that this is the kind of conversation that we need to hear over and over again, because no matter what, whatever phase of our business or our lives that we are in, this stuff is going to come up. And it's good to have the constant reminder to help us move past these levels, right? These fears and remembering to be true to ourselves and be authentic, right?
Yeah, 100%. You know, we're always growing, we're always learning, we're always healing. It's a lifetime process.
If you're listening to this, I will talk to you on the next episode.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Build Your Beautiful Business podcast. If you did, please make sure to subscribe, rate, and review the show on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Julie's included a link in the shows to make it nice and easy for you. And if you want to create a beautiful, profitable business of your own, make sure to go unlock your access to Julie's 6 must-have resources for female entrepreneurs. These resources will help you build and grow your business with simplicity and ease. You can find them at juliecbutler.com/freebie vault. We'll see you in the next episode.